Hello and welcome back to Calm AF. I'm Kristen Finch. This is episode 327, possibly 328. Now I am doubting myself. But what I do know is we are in part 4 of our Internal Clutter series, where we have been clearing out all the clutter inside your body that's been keeping you dysregulated and making life feel just really heavy all the time. If you're just joining and you missed parts 1, 2, and 3, go back and listen to those, but I will give you a quick recap so that you can move right into part 4. In part 1, we just basically talked about what these internal junk drawers are. We all know what the kitchen junk drawer is. It's filled with dead pens and soy sauce packets and rubber bands. Well, you also have junk drawers in your body that are filled with other things that you can't see. And they are full of clutter. They are overflowing. In part 2, we talked about the first kind of junk drawer, internal junk drawer, your mental junk drawer. This is where you store all of your old thoughts, all of the stories you have about yourself and about other people and about the world, all of the catastrophizing that you have ever done. You keep it in there, all of the open tabs in your brain. That's where that's held in your mental junk drawer. Part 3, we cracked open the yikes emotional junk drawer. What's inside of that? All the feelings that you have shoved down for years because either you didn't know how to process them, you were afraid to process them, whatever the reason, you shoved them down, you didn't let them out of your body. They are now all residing in your emotional junk drawer. In part 4, we are opening the sneakiest drawer of all, the energetic junk drawer. So let's dive in. Here is why your energetic junk drawer is the sneakiest. Because when you open it, most of the stuff in there, it's not even your stuff. You're like, where did this even come from? You don't even realize that you have been picking this clutter up and storing it inside your body. This would be like if you walked into your kitchen right now and you opened a junk drawer and it was just filled with stuff you had never seen before or stuff that just none of it was yours. You'd be like, what am I supposed to do with this clutter? It's not mine. What do I do? How did it even get here? So here's how it got here. I'm guessing you already know this because you're listening to this podcast, but you are an energetic sponge. You're cute and yellow and sunshiny, but you are a maximum strength absorbency sponge. Now, you already know some of the ways that you are an energetic sponge. You already know that you pick up everyone else's feelings, everyone else's moods without even trying. It just like naturally absorbs. So someone walks into your space and they're in a bad mood, you absorb it, now you're in a bad mood. You walk into a room and there's tension, like something just happened, someone just had a fight, zoop, now there's tension in your body because of the sponge. But the reason why it feels so heavy is because you're not only absorbing energy in these moments that you know about. You are absorbing energy in every moment. The moments you aren't paying attention to, the moments that you are not noticing tension in the room or a bad mood. You're absorbing all of it, high energy, lower energy, everything in between. This is why it feels heavier than what you would think, but also why it's sneaky. Because when you're like, I'm not just physically tired, like my soul is tired, it's because you are carrying invisible weight. Okay, so this just popped in my head. You know, if you ever watched SpongeBob, and when SpongeBob would be like out and there was some water, he would just lay on it and he would like grow 1,000 times bigger than he normally is because he was absorbing all of the liquid. This is what you are doing as an energetic sponge. You are just walking around, absorbing all of the energy, and it takes up so much more space in your body. So this soul tired feeling, I thought it was just being an adult. I was like, well, it seems like adults, when I was a kid, seems like adults were always tired. They always kind of were like dragging around, seemed like they were kind of heavy. This just must be what happens to people when you become an adult and you have responsibilities. And I think there's some truth to that. But this extra heaviness, where it's like not just physically, emotionally, but like soul tired, I started paying attention to when that would show up, when that heaviness got heavier. And it wasn't just after hard days. It was after certain conversations, certain places that I would go, certain people that I would be around. Like I would notice that I went to a friend's house for the afternoon and I would leave their house feeling like I'd been hit by a truck. Or I would go to Target and end up just feeling so scattered or overwhelmed, even though like I just got in, grabbed the toothpaste or whatever and got back out, which is not how we do Target runs. But anyway, it just seemed like, oh, it's not just when I'm tense because my husband's in a bad mood. It's like I can feel that after I visit my friend's house. And that's when I really started putting two and two together, that as an energetic sponge, I wasn't just living my life and taking in my own energy. I was also accumulating everyone else's energy, their emotional residue, their anxiety, their tension, whether we even interacted or not. I really, really, really noticed this for some reason. I still don't understand why. Actually, I'm getting closer. But when we moved to Colorado, I really started feeling that. So here's the thing that nobody tells you about being an energetic sponge, because why would they? You don't just feel things in the moments you're noticing. You're absorbing them and they're staying with you. So every single conversation you're having is leaving a little bit of residue. Every anxious person that you are encountering in your day, you are absorbing a little bit of their anxiety into your system, into your sponge. Every chaotic environment that you walk through. Like, I don't know about you, but me, if I walk into a place like IKEA or one of the big stores, like a not factory, like a, I don't know what the word is, but like a Costco type of a place. I feel it the second I walk in. And you know this feeling. And unlike physical clutter, you can't see it building up. You just start feeling heavier and heavier and heavier, and you don't know why. You don't realize that you are SpongeBob growing 10 times your size every time you are out in the world or in your home. It's like you are building this emotional, like sediment, like the grainy stuff that comes after rain, but it's not even yours. It's other people's. That's why when you get back to your drawer, you open it, you're like, what is all this? I don't even know where this came from. That's why. That's what it's like to be the energetic sponge. Now, there's lots of different types of energetic clutter. I want to talk about 3 today, the 3 main ones, the 3 ones that I think make the biggest impact. But if you want to know more about it and talk about different kinds, that is something that I do in my Call My AF programs. But the first one I want to talk about is environmental energetic clutter. So I'm going to give you an example of what this means. When we lived in Illinois, in our home, we had this family photo that hung on the wall, and it was right in a spot that you would see it whether you were in the living room or in the kitchen, which is basically where we spent all our time. And so I probably saw it or passed by it 1,000 times a day. Now, this was a family photo and I love my family. And so I wanted it on the wall, and the kids' poses, they were little. They were so little. And Parker had the cutest little pose, and Emily's face was just so Emily, so perfect. that photo, when I would look at it, what it reminded me of was the day that we took the photo. There was a story like imprinted in this photo. And that day was really hard for lots of reasons, trying to get 2 babies ready and myself ready for a family photo. But also, it was just a really hard time in my life. I was having a hard time in my marriage. I was still very much struggling with my body, which is part of why it was hard to get ready for the photos. I was struggling with my role, my new identity as a new mom, like my old identity. I was still grieving that loss. My dad's addiction was still very, a daily kind of in front of me situation. It was a really, really hard time in my life. And even though it was a photo of my family whom I love, I realized that it wasn't just a photo. I was interacting all of the time with the energy of the photo. It was like this visual reminder of the heaviness. That's environmental energetic clutter, because everything is energy. Everything holds stories of what's happened in them. And when you're a sponge, you absorb it. When I would walk past that photo, even if I wasn't consciously thinking like, oh, that was a really hard time in my life, that is the story that was attached to that photo. And I was absorbing that energy and shoving it in my energetic junk drawer. Think about all of the things in the environment around you and whether or not they are making you feel like, yeah, I like the energy of this object, or I don't like the energy. That's everything in your living space. So that's the first kind of clutter. The second type of energetic clutter I would call information clutter. This is just that constant stream, this barrage of everyone else's opinions and moods and energy, and it's all coming at you through your phone. And it feels like these just isolating moments. Like, yeah, I was on Instagram for 15 minutes and then I was done with Instagram. But what you did during those 15 minutes scrolling Instagram was absorbing hundreds of little micro interactions. Other people, what they wanted you to know, what they were trying to convey emotionally. Someone's having a bad day and posts about it. Now you have taken on, because you're the sponge, you have taken on a little bit of that bad day. Someone is anxious about politics, which of course they are. Now you are carrying that anxiety. So you turn off Instagram, you think it's done. You have absorbed, you have put some of that anxiety, some of that bad day in your energetic junk drawer. And even the motivational content becomes clutter. Okay. And here's why. Now, we all probably have 8 gazillion screenshots of like motivational quotes in our phone that we're like, yes, I love this so much. I want to hold on to this. It's energetic clutter. If it's something that's telling you that you should be doing something more, you should be someone different, you should have more, a lot of the underlying energy of motivational content isn't, oh my gosh, you are so amazing, and I hope you just always know that. A lot of it is, oh, you are so amazing, but here's why you could be even better. Here's the tool that you could be using. Here's the workout you could be doing. Here's the quote that's going to make you like be stronger. And so you'll follow through. Like all of that, the underlying tone isn't actually energy that's supportive. It's energy that's reminding you that you are not enough, right? This is not inspiration. It's overload. Your nervous system is trying to process a constant stream of information. And the thing about it is, it's like none of it has to do with your actual life. Okay, I will stop there. The third and probably biggest culprit, the most amount of energetic clutter in your energetic junk drawer will be other people's shit. that you have absorbed from them and you've held on to because it's someone else's. What am I supposed to do with it? This doesn't have to be bad people. One of the concepts that I have kind of coined and that I talk about a lot, and actually I'm going to have one of my clients, I interviewed her for the podcast, and she's going to talk a lot about this, but we talk about bags of shit, where some of us are just people who will like hold other people's shit for them so they don't have to hold on to it. Okay. So, and these people might not even, they're not bad people, but you know these people. You can have a perfectly nice conversation with them, but afterwards you're like, oh my God, I need a nap. Again, not because they're bad people, because their energy is chaotic or needy, or they're just throwing all their shit on you. I have an absolutely amazing friend in my life that is basically my family. I adore her. She's just an amazing human, but she's also really high strung, and she likes to pretend she's not, though. And it's that disconnect for me where I'm like, oh, like I just feel so torn between like, she is high strung, she's not so high strung. So when we're together, if something bothers her, she won't ever say it. It'll be like, oh yeah, no, that's okay, when clearly it's not. And whenever we're together, she's one of my favorite people in the world, but I feel my maximum absorbency sponge soul is just soaking it all in. And I feel myself getting bigger and heavier, feeling like all of it's mine to carry. And again, this is not me being mean. It's not me saying anything is wrong with her. It's just me being super attuned that I need to be very protective of my energy. And I need to be consciously wringing myself out, wringing this energetic clutter that I am absorbing every now and then, or I will be carrying it for days or for decades or for a lifetime. Because here is the truth about this energetic clutter. When we talk about soul tired, why are we all so tired and feel so heavy, is because this energetic clutter that's not even ours is compounding. You aren't just feeling what you soaked in energetically today. You are feeling the buildup of years of soaking in energetic shit from other people and from your environment. That's why as life goes on, the heaviness feels more obvious. And the longer you carry it around, the more it starts to feel like you. Like, I am this anxious person. I am this high-strung person. I am in a bad mood. But maybe a big chunk of it isn't even yours. You think you're tired, but really, maybe you're just energetically full of residue and buildup of clutter that wasn't even yours to begin with. Now, the good news is that once you start recognizing, like, I am an energetic sponge, then you can start wringing yourself out. So here's what it might look like in real life. When you start feeling heavy and you can't seem to put your finger on why, you're like, this doesn't feel like I know where it came from. None of this junk in this drawer feels like mine. You just ask yourself a question. What did I pick up today that isn't mine? And then you just wring it out. You don't have to complicate this. You don't have to find the root source and then go through all the things. Like, you can just say like, oh, this bad mood isn't mine. I don't need to hold on to it. I can just let it go. I also think as far as environmental clutter, you need to be paying attention to how the things in your home make you feel, and either get rid of things that make you feel, bad, that hold inner like stories, imprints of hard times in your life. Maybe we just move them or get rid of them. The other thing that you can do is just get some air flowing. Open your windows. Think about it. If this energetic clutter, if this residue was actually like dust, what you would start doing is you would start moving the air. You would start kind of dusting it up, but also not letting it settle onto your space. You would also be selective about what you are absorbing as far as information goes. Every piece of content, everything you are taking in, a notification, an email, Instagram, TikTok, all of it is adding to your energetic load. So it doesn't mean you can't do that anymore. You just really need to do it discerningly. Another way that one of the things that I like to do, especially if I have definitely absorbed someone else's mood or energy or emotion, I will shake it off, like Taylor Swift, shake it off, literally shake my hands, jump around, shake my body. And that's me moving the energy instead of letting it settle and then kind of get stuck to the bottom. And the biggest thing is to learn how to protect your energy. I call it energetic boundaries. In my program, I teach people the big pink bubble. This is basically where you are letting yourself have boundaries around your space. Like if you think about your aura and all of the energy that you are absorbing just from being in the same space, you want to make sure you're protecting yourself. So you want to have energetic boundaries. All right, that's the energetic junk drawer. Good to know, right? You aren't just tired and feeling heavy because life is hard. Life has always been hard. It feels so heavy because you are carrying years or more, decades of this accumulated debris and energetic residue that isn't even yours. It's everybody else's. It's outside of you. Your energy matters. You can only hold so much. Even the maximum absorbency sponge can only hold so much. So you need to choose what you carry. You need to be decluttering your energetic junk drawer on the regular. Okay? You're ready to stop filling up your energetic junk drawer. I'm opening enrollment for Calm AF Year on August 11th. This is a year-long experiment in what happens when you stop accumulating all of the stuff, when you stop filling up your mental, emotional, and energetic junk drawers, and you start protecting your own energy. Get on the interest list in the show notes to get all the details for when the enrollment opens. I will see you next time.